Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of No, It's Not My Team, but just regular My Driver career mode here on the Formula 1 2021 game. So, these are some of my, not my first laps, but some of my first laps ever on this game. You're going to see it here. I tried doing my team earlier, but the car was so difficult to drive, I just said, alright, let me get used to this game. Let me do maybe a season of this first for YouTube before I do anything my team, because that car was horrendous to drive. After only 5 laps, I think I gave up and was just like, alright, let's do something else first for a bit. But you're just seeing me set up all the settings right now here. One thing about F1 2021, a lot more settings, a lot more things you could do. Bigger damage model, better graphics, better lobby music too. But yeah, just a great game all around. I was struggling to get the hang of this game for sure at first, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it now and starting to get better. We're turning off interviews because I hate interviews more than anything. But yeah, we are going to start our career now. And yeah, so first off, we have to make our driver, so I'm going to do that. But after that, we have to pick a team. And I was thinking about going to AlphaTauri, but I really want to go with a good handling car that could win the championship right off the bat. So we're going to do Red Bull. And maybe later on we'll make it more of a challenge and head down to AlphaTauri if they get worse later on. So we are going to choose Red Bull Racing Honda. And anytime now at least, we'll choose Red Bull Racing Honda. Max Verstappen is our teammate. And the goal is to be up there racing for the championship here. As... yeah, you could look around, see all the stuff. R&D, we got to upgrade the R&D. We got to get better. Already the powertrain and the durability sections already have some stuff upgraded, which is good. Six items each have already been upgraded, which is a great start because, you want to get as good of a start as you can. And especially this year, because in real life, halfway through last year, they took away the different fuel mixtures. So this year, we have to deal with only being in standard for the entire race, unless it's under a safety car. Then you could throw it down into lean. So I want to do engine upgrades to ensure I could save fuel. Here you're seeing I'm going to get a resource development feedback. I'm going to buy that and get a resource points upgrade. Let's go down to the car review. Yeah, nothing special, just the Red Bull. It's not as interesting as in my team when you could, hide the car, have nobody know what you're going to have until the car reveal, because, it's not a real car. But, everybody knows what the Red Bull looks like if you watch F1. And, yeah, we're going for the Drivers' Championship. A couple of upgrades past there as we are now ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix. And, well, of course, Australia does not open up the season this season, so Bahrain will open up the season. Here we go.
Hello folks, and welcome to Paddock Pass, your pre-race edition for the inaugural round of the 2021 Formula 1 World Championship. And I've got to say, it feels great to be back. As is tradition, there is something of an air of a first day back at school on arrival here. But it's more than that. It's a breath of fresh air. It's an element of normality in what has at times felt to be something of an abnormal world. Now, we were supposed to have a raft of new regulations this season, but as we know, they've been held back, which does give all of these teams the opportunity to have a second bite at the cherry, one final chance to show what they can do in this era of Formula 1, but the responsibility for results, as always, falls on the drivers. But with the cars at their disposal this year being very similar to the cars they had at their disposal last year, succeed, and they of course will put it all on themselves as a display of their innate skills and abilities. But the knife cuts both ways, because if they fail to succeed, there's absolutely nowhere for them to hide. The other question, though, remains as to which of these teams has been able to do the incredible, the impossible perhaps, with these regulations, and pull something out of the hat over the winter that gives them the march on their rivals. As always, we can't wait for this season to begin, but for now, from us, that's you.
All right. Thank you, Will Buxton, for that. And you just heard the Honda engine firing up inside of this Red Bull. What a sound it is. Heading out for FP1 now, free practice 1, to set some laps and get used to the circuit a little bit here. Secure International Circuit. In 2020, this was one of my favorite tracks. In 2021, it's a lot more difficult. And honestly, I haven't enjoyed it as much because I've struggled a lot at this place, so I'm just trying to get the hang of it. It took me, you'll see, it took me almost the full race to really start to get the hang of it. And yeah, so that's not me. I don't know why my face isn't my normal face, but I don't know. I must have missed the option. Anyways, let's head on to quali. Headed down to the final corners. Turns 14 and 15, I believe they are. The curbs are a lot more realistic, I guess. You can't ride them like you could in 2020, or else you'll spin out and wreck. And you'll see that a lot, and the traction's a lot worse. But we are eliminated in Q1.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1, of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. So here we are in 2021 at the start of another Formula One World Championship. It all begins here. Mercedes looking to retain their hold on the title. Red Bull seeking to secure their position as the main contender for that title. Ferrari no doubt hoping for a fresh start following their difficulties last year. And elsewhere on the grid, the prospect of some really exciting battles, including between the newly rebranded Aston Martin and Alpine teams. Lots to discuss then with Anthony Davidson, who's joined me in the commentary box for today's event.
It's good to be back, Crofty. Let's hope for some good racing today. We can't know at this point how competitive these teams are relative to each other, but hopefully nobody is able to run and hide. We want to see these drivers pushing to the limit all the way to the checkered flag.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri BOTTAS. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Lando Norris and Vettel, Leclerc, Stroll, Gasly and Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon and Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Raikkonen, the rookie and George Russell, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Oh my god. P17 on the grid. Esteban Ocon took some grid penalties, so he'll have to start at the back. Here's the pit strategy. I'm going to go for that 2-stopper. At the bottom of the screen, the second option is what I'm going to go for. But I'm going to change it up. Soft, medium is what we're working with here as we now head on to the formation lap. Here's the end of the formation lap and coming to the race start. One thing I am good at in this game right off the bat is race starts, as you'll see here, to the 5 red lights and the Bahrain Grand Prix Our adventure in F1 2021 kicks off as it's lights out, and away we go. A good start, you can see, to the inside of Kimi Räikkönen. We do a giant dive bomb down the inside. That's like my signature move. The race start dive bomb from the back of the field. Bit of contact with the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz round the outside. That probably would have been an illegal overtake on strict corner cutting rules because we were clearly off the racetrack there. That's the good thing about regular. You don't get penalized for every single thing you do that's slightly off track, like IRL. But anyways, working towards the end of this first lap, took a while to catch back up to Lance Stroll. Of course, I lowered the difficulty about 5% from 100 to 95 because 100 was way too good for me because I'm still getting used to this game. So, and you'll see here, I still am not the fastest car on track, so it's not like it's, you know, giving me an automatic win. It's just making these videos more fun to watch because I'm actually competitive and racing for the win. And even better, I have to work my way from the back in this race, which is a lot of fun from, you know, a gaming standpoint, actually doing the race, and it's a lot of fun for viewing because you get a lot of passes, as you're seeing me here on Fernando Alonso in the Alpine car. Probably the nicest livery in the entire field in that French-colored car. Now on Sebastian Vettel, closing in on him at the end of lap 4, beginning of lap 5. Fastest sector 3, purple sector, and we dive down the inside of the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel. Just like the Alpine, a new team in F1, or at least a rebrand from Racing Point, the pink cars from last year's game. And we're going to go around the outside of Charles Leclerc and maybe Pierre Gasly. No, we're not going to get Gasly quite yet through turn 4 here on lap number 5. That was a nice move around the outside. I mean, I haven't done any other races since this because it thunderstormed, and, you know, I don't play any sort of video games that are plugged into the wall during a thunderstorm, but, I mean, I could already confirm there's going to be a lot of passes around the outside in this series because they're fun to do. But here we're going up the inside of Pierre Gasly, entering turn 1. And, yeah, you're going to see here George Russell, even in the games, this man has terrible luck. And on lap 8, we come in for our first pit stop, the first 8-lap stint on these soft compound tires. We're going to do another 8-lap stint on the softs as of now, and then finish the race on the mediums as we see Carlos Sainz also in the pits right in front of us. Daniel Ricciardo is in front of us. I'm not sure we're going to be able to catch him because we were matching pace towards the end of that stint. Maybe he was pulling away a little bit, but I couldn't really catch him, and the gap was already about 9 seconds. And Charles Leclerc has actually jumped us in the pits. Pitting a lap earlier for him worked, but I'm on the soft tires, and soft tires are softer, obviously, than medium compound tires, and therefore faster, but they wear quicker. But that should not make that much of a difference in a race like this with a 2-stopper where tire wear should not be all that bad. We're going to close up on Nicholas Latifi, go around the outside, and now here's Nikita Mazepin. Yes, I'm going to call him that for like the entire series. Round the outside at turn 5. What a pass. Honestly, that is probably... I mean, I watch a lot of YouTubers like Arav and Tiamat Marduk, but honestly, I have not seen them yet do a pass. I have not seen any of the good esports drivers, any of the big YouTubers make a pass as great as that. Really, it was just a round the outside pass. What made it so great was it was at turn 5 at Bahrain with nobody holding up either of us. I just dove it in, chucked it in around the outside, and made that work. As you can see here, we're on to the medium tires. Nothing else happened in that stint. I was probably just recovering from witnessing what just happened and what I just pulled off. Did not expect to make that move on the outside of Mazepin that easily. And we come out in P13, closing in on Esteban Ocon here, who started at the back of this race, is on the one-stop strategy. Because of that, on the hard compound tires, he's much slower than us, though. And we are racing right now for P9. When the pit stop cycled through, this should be for, I believe, P7 on track, and we easily get the switchback move there. I purposely braked early. He just happened to lock up as well, and I moved on by. And coming around to the end of lap 23, we have to close in on Yuki Tsunoda, Japanese rookie, in front of us. Small boy. He's 3.6 seconds in front of us, and we are closing. But can we get there before the end of the race? I was, up to this point, we were gaining about 1.2 seconds on him per lap, if I remember correctly from the race. We'll see here. Read the subtitles at the bottom. Their tires are 9 laps old. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. It was about that. It was that same exact margin for 4 laps in a row, I'm pretty sure. But you're going to see here the tires are going to start to level out. Here I'm at my best. Here I'm finally used to this car. I know what I'm doing. I'm used to the game pretty much. I'm ready. I'm all good now. Probably a mistake hopping into career mode as your first race. Probably should have run some practice laps, in just a Grand Prix race, or even just time trials, which I did run 5 laps at Austria after this in time trials. But only that my team tragedy right before this, which I actually streamed on Twitch. That was a bad moment for me earlier. But anyways, enough about that my team career. I'll probably restart it and post a video in like a couple of months and do a series on that. But anyways, 3 to go, and we are here, coming to 2 laps to go. I'm going to hold it behind Yuki Tsunoda here and just start sizing him up for a pass. Right, that's the saying, I don't know. But anyways, we're going to try and make this pass down the front stretch, down the main straight on the final lap. I accidentally go for a move here, just braking too late. And Yuki pulls ahead a little bit. Can Tsunoda stay in front? The reason I didn't pass him there is because I want to save battery and dump it all out on the final lap of this race. Almost ran into the back of him. I think we did hit him. You saw a puff of smoke there. And because I'm using ABS, it wasn't a lockup. I think I ran into the back of Yuki right there. But we have cleared Esteban Ocon. The Frenchman has fallen back to, I believe, 10th position, as Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc have both passed him. And yeah, Daniel Ricciardo 19 seconds up the road. We're not going to catch him. This is all about staying within DRS range of Yuki Tsunoda and making this pass on the AlphaTauri driver. Can we do it? This is going to be crazy. Coming up here, a final lap battle with, the junior team, the junior Red Bull team's rookie driver. I mean, wow. I'm a rookie too, technically, because, it's my first race on this career save. And it's actually my first full race that I completed on this game as a whole. Coming around, though, to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Can we get the pass done down the front stretch, dumping out all the battery, DRS deployed, standard fuel mix, since, you can't change it mid-race anymore. And we complete the pass around the outside. Yuki comes back up the inside, but you can't pass around the outside of turn 2. It just doesn't ever work if you don't have the car, like the car in front in advantage. I guess I could have just said, but yes, we've pulled ahead right now. You can see on the mini-map there, the Mercedes, those turquoise, aqua, blue dots, they are like bumper to bumper. This could be a pretty close finish. I'm just noticing that right now. I didn't realize it was that close, but it looks like that is Lewis Hamilton leading the Grand Prix, coming through turns 14 and 15, back on to the front straightaway. Lewis Hamilton wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, the first ever race in this career mode on F1 2021, and coming around the final corner for us, it's going to be P6. Not good, but not bad, given we started in 17th and struggled all race. How about that? P17 to P6, and Yuki almost kills us right there. And we get driver of the day in our debut. How about that?
That's it for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain, and a real champion's drive to take the win. Anthony Davidson race and a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
And so, with that, time to go on to the results. Next race will be the Spanish Grand Prix in Spain because Imola and Portimao aren't in the game yet. Neither is Saudi Arabia. They're going to be added, I believe, in a free DLC later on, probably in September or October. The game notified you at first, but Lewis Hamilton wins, Bottas second, Verstappen third, and yeah, Fernando Alonso and George Russell ended up DNFing from the Grand Prix. But anyways, that was a great race, wasn't it? Lots of passing, you know. It's great after coming off of F1 2020's My Team career, where it was just me and George Russell racing each other because the team was so strong. None of you really ever saw it because that was just my career save. But anyways, thank you all for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to see more F1 2021 content. And, well, so that will do it for me, FireLynx, here today. Next up, probably tomorrow, will be the Spanish Grand Prix here in Season 1, followed up by my worst enemy, Monaco. Anyways, like and subscribe. Have a great night.